How you doing, little buddy? I don't know what I'm gonna do today other than just grind. I don't know. Oh. What? Other than just grind, the Christmas stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I do anything else, I'll be surprised as well, because I don't have any plans other than just going through all the Christmas stuff. This one's probably not going to be super long, because it's just the same thing over and over again. Hey, little guy, how you doing? I'm going to need to do that. Thumper, what are you doing? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna kill the gazer on this wave. You see a cat? Yeah, there's a cat. I'm getting ready to chase the cat. Please don't chase the cat, Thumper. Hey, calm down. You're like inching your way ever closer to the cat. Alright, well, at least we'll get some crit stars out of this. And Jinkei should have enough. Jinkei should... See? You got smacked by the cat. I told you not to inch your way closer to the cat. You decided to do so anyway. And the cat smacked you. Okay. Hey. I have no idea whether or not this will get it done in one go. I've not gotten this lucky with skill card setup. Or with card setup. Ah, so close. No, she's dead next round at the very least. Ooh, nice. I never get to see how many crit stars you generate. Decent. 21 is pretty good. What do I have that I can use? Let's try you. Let's see how quickly you can take this down. Sadly, you don't have, like, your own buff, but You did get the NP buff recently that gives the defense down. That's gonna be nice to test out. No, that's the only way we're gonna get real damage out of this, yeah. Thumper! Thumper, where have you wandered off to? That's Mercury. Hey there, Mercury. You don't leave your room often anymore. Just walks away. Oh. Alrighty. Checking the strength. Okay, it's going fine. That's not nice. What did he ever do to you? Hey there. Oh, they both got hit with it too. Still no effect on that. Does it makes perfect sense. It's, I think it's a male only. Alright, so they both got the defense down. Oh wow, he took her down. I could probably up her skills a bit to get more damage. You know, I'll be honest, I think this is like the second time maybe that I've used her Noble Phantasm. And I never get the defense down. It's always attack down, never defense. Damn it, I clicked off screen. Okay, so the hope is that we get enough, we grind enough to get all of Merlin's skills past the point that they're at now, which is at the, we need to get them to like the 3 stage. So we need a lot of caster gems. Whole lot of caster gems. What are you doing? Okay. Do we have enough gems for you? Yes, we do. So I care about these 2 skills and pretty much these 2 skills only. Is this a guaranteed? Okay, so this is a chance, I believe, right? No, it's just a guaranteed, it says. Decrease defense. Decrease defense, okay. We'll start with this one since it's party-wide. Right, and I can get it up another level too. Probably 2 more. Oof, that's an expensive material that I don't have a lot of. I hate using Eternal Gears. Is it a... Why do you need more Eternal Gears? No. I'm not spending any more. Do you know how expensive those are? And this event doesn't even have Eternal Gears for me to obtain. Really? Yeah, this is all it has for me. That and the stuff in the shop, and Eternal Gears aren't in the shop. Because Eternal Gears are never in the shop. These are the best material they have in the shop. I always run out of them. Because all of the good servants use them. I'm surprised Shells of Reminiscence... Yeah, Shells of Reminiscence are here. So Shells of Reminiscence are essentially only used on summer servants. So you like never see them outside of the summer event. Because you don't really need them outside of the summer events. Wait, no. I'll just use a gold apple. Ooh. Okay, well now at least we'll get a little better damage out of this. What are you doing? Why are you just staring at the bird, huh? That's good. We got good cards. This might mean that we don't kill next round though, sadly. Oh, wait, no, I'm not switching this round. How you doing, Mittens? You doing good? We got a good amount of crit stars at the very least. Not a good amount. Okay, well they all got the debuffs at the very least. Ah, guarded the second one. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have put the debuff down. Keep on forgetting that he has that skill. I think working-wise, Matahari needs a buff to her crit star gaining skill, maybe. Her other skills are pretty good. Okay, so I think, what was it, recently, this is really interesting, recently in the JP server, Mysterious Heroine X got another buff. She's like the first servant to be the recipient of 4 different buffs. And it's quite impressive that she's received so many buffs. But it's completely understandable, because it seems like no matter how many buffs they give her, she's still bad. Thankfully now, she's finally in a state that I would call acceptable as a servant. Like, she's not amazing. She's not the best, assassin in the world. But she's at least better than, I don't know, she's at least better, she's at least good. She can do things. They, like, kept on dancing around giving her some sort of damage buff. Because, like, they gave her a buff to her, her instinct skill, which gave it, they gave her a buff to her instinct skill. Hold up, let me check Mysterious Heroine X. This shouldn't be that hard. Mysterious Heroine X. Come on, where's Game Press? There we go. But they kept on giving her like buff after buff that like while the buffs that they gave her were good, they weren't particularly like useful. Like they gave her a buff to oh, let me see. So the first buff was a buff to her her intuition, which gave it invincibility and made it more stars. The second one was a buff. Well, I think second she got her NP interlude before she got the buff to her first skill. But she got an NP interlude, I think, before she got her second buff. Which just gave it more damage and didn't really change much about it. Which is okay, it needed more damage, that's for sure. Then she got a buff to her first skill, which gave her a defense down, a party-wide defense down, which was good, but still not enough. I gotta go pick up a phone call. I'll be right back. Never mind, I don't have to go pick up a phone call. I don't know who that was. So they then gave her, I think I left off on, the change to her first skill, Fire Support. They gave her a, thought I activated the skill, maybe NP. They then gave her a buff to her first skill, Fire Support EX, which gave it a defense down for all enemies, which is good because it used to be just a kind of crappy delayed stun skill. that you had to hope activated the turn before you actually needed it to activate. You had to activate it the turn before you needed to activate it and hope that it did. Because it was a 100% chance to activate fire support, but it was not a 100% chance to stun. Which is kind of shitty because at its best it's 80%. Sure, there are ways to get it up to 100%, but they're all like not super viable ways. And then her third skill, which was really bad. It was just an increase. It was an increased star gen against sabers and an increased attack against sabers. Became they just gave it a generic attack buff. It's not a really good attack buff. It's like only 20%. But against sabers, it went from 50% to 70%, which is pretty good. And they didn't change literally anything else about the skill, but I think with her total kit in general now, like her whole kit taken into account, it's okay. It's certainly better than what it was. Like at launch, Mysterious Heroine X was like an unarguably terrible servant, and now she's at least like an okay servant. Why do I keep on forgetting to activate the decrease debuff resistance skill? These guys all have debuff resistance. Activate the skill that makes it so that they don't. Don't do that. Oh well, at least that killed. Ooh, nice. I know she already had like Cosmo Reactor A and Riding EX, which were good for increasing her crit star dropness, or her crit star drop rate and her quick card effectiveness. The problem was she just didn't have a good way of buffing her own attack, and I guess now she has at least a generic 40% attack up. With both of her skills taken into account. Ugh.
Still not here.
And then yeah, she didn't return yet. She's not gonna be back for a while. Okay, so Ereshkigal Girl comes soon. I'm not sure how soon. And Abigail Williams comes soon. And I'm kind of I'm leaning between one of the two of them to spend all these Saints Courts that I've saved up. Okay, so Ereshkigal. I do like Ereshkigal. That is a cool fucking lance. April Fools. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's see. Oh my god, you guys need to calm down. The cat and the dog are chasing each other. I hope I don't have to. I'm gonna have to farm the amount of boxes I farmed during Neurofest, aren't I? I farmed around 30 to 40 boxes, I think, maybe 50. Just to get my Yeah, go ahead. That'll be funny to watch.
I would tell them that I saw someone in a room after I'd run into the room and tell them that I'll watch it back. Then just spam my flashes in there.
This event came out at a very poor time in my personal calendar. Because I have a lot of stuff to do over the next couple of days. But it seems like events always come out when I have, like, no time. The bitrate went down for a bit. I hope this reloads. Okay, it appears to have reloaded.
I want to test out the changes to my deck, but it looks like it's going to rain, so I'm not going to walk up there. But I mean, look out there and tell me it doesn't look like it'll rain by around like 6-ish.
It looks like it'll be raining soon. If it comes to 6 and it's all of a sudden clear skies.
Then I'll probably go.
Okay. So we'll take care of you first and then move on. I want more crit stars next turn. I'm fine with this. Oh, I thought he was gonna die. Should have activated that skill before doing anything else. Yeah, 30 boxes is gonna be very annoying, but I think I actually have to farm that amount exactly to get, was that one of the cats?
I don't know.
I think I'm gonna actually have to farm that amount almost exactly to get all of Merlin's skills up the first rank. Let me actually check Merlin just to see what I need. Okay, so I'm looking for, what does he require for skills? Eternity Gears! That's gonna be fun. I don't have any Eternal Gears. Well, I don't have the amount that he requires. He requires about 30. I have everything else. Literally everything else, I think. Yeah, I have literally everything else. Maybe. Let me check my secret gems of casters. Or the magical. Are these magical or secret? That's Eternal Gears. They're the secret. Okay. This is a brief check of my stuff. Item list. So I might not have enough magic gems, but 30 boxes will give me enough. Yeah, sorry, I don't have enough secret gems. I have enough magic gems. But farming 30 boxes will certainly give me enough, I think. I only need 30 will probably not get me enough, so I've got to farm a whole lot more. But I have enough of everything else, I believe. Let's see.
Yeah, you should text Lewis and tell him to sign on.
Okay, I have enough spirit roots. I have enough crystallized lore. This is going far beyond what I need. What else did he need? Hearts of a foreign god? Yeah, I have enough. I only need 30. Pages. That is a question. Yes, I have enough forbidden pages. Eternal Gears are going to be a little bit difficult. I think they're a hard farming spot. There's Rifling Hole in Shijuku should be fine for those.
Good. You know what you should do?
I'll remember that I need to do that eventually. Other than that, it's just going to be getting the regular gems. The regular gems of Castor and the secret gems of Castor. Do I actually have enough? Wait. Yeah, I have enough pages. I need 45 pages. I should be fine on that. That's a very annoying thing. Come on, I need double, there we go. Shuten Doji with it. Alrighty. Let's start. Is there an easier way to blow through these? Probably. I could probably use Lancelot. The problem is I want the event bonus. But we can use Lancelot just to make this go faster. We're one cheesecake down, but that's fine. We were only getting one extra cheesecake per run anyway. Hey, you want me to text Lewis and fun? Ooh! We now have a card that makes it so that you can automatically get a Black Rose Dragon going second. As long as your opponent has put cards on the board, you can make a Black Rose Dragon immediately.
Yeah, you should tell him to sign his ass on and psych him. Don't tell him it's to flashbang him a bunch, though. I don't think he needs to know that I plan to flash him a bunch. You could probably agree on that one.
Yeah, sure. You ready to fucking freeze our asses off on work tomorrow? Or not tomorrow, Saturday?
Yeah.
And Sunday? You threw a thing. Are you gonna detonate it?
Nah, he backed up before he could detonate.
Well, you still got it active. You still got it live.
Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were the one who walked by it.
Fuck me! I just saw you fucking team kill!
I heard movement behind me while I was shooting at a guy, so I detonated on it. And then I see him
motherfucker, you blew his ass up! Oh, that was beautiful! Oh! No oof! Don't oof me!
Oof. I had no clue it was him. I heard movement behind me and was fighting from the front, so I'm like, nah, I ain't letting this happen. Detonated it, and then I see it's friendly fire. That was hilarious. I'm like, oh, I am so fucking sorry, but at least I pulled off the victory for us. At least I pulled off the clutch with a triple pistol cap. I wasn't even focused during the gunfight there afterwards. Once I saw the kill, I'm like, oh fuck.
Their power's out.
What, their power went out?
Their power went out.
I
So
was just there.
I don't know. You were just there and it wasn't out, so
Well, that's a fucking rip.
I've asked them if they'd like Mom to come pick them up or something. Or if they just want to walk over. Because if their power's out, that's really shitty. I'm not studying abroad. Don't know why you want me to study abroad. Ooh. What did Amniplex USA just upload? What is this?
It's not too toxic.
Oh, it's a trailer for episode 5.
Fuck. Well, I blinded them.
So you leave and then the power goes out. Are you like some sort of power outage magnet or something?
Wait, what? I'm gonna exit our front door and then our power will go out.
Please don't.
Why?
I'm streaming.
What, you think it'll actually happen?
If it does, I'll be mad. Don't you dare.
What, don't exit the front door? Why?
Don't pretend like the power's gonna go out. Alright. Let me check over.
Power cuts out right as I open the door.
Oh, that's a hard one too. Enkidu's still live right now. And I'd kind of like Enkidu. So many jacks. Ooh, there's a Merlin.
I wonder how
Okay,
long
so
after I left the power went out.
Ereshkigal. Let's see. Do I want to spend my Saints Quartz on Ereshkigal? I like her as a servant. She's very interesting. Her
I wonder how
Ascension
long
stages
after I
are really
left the
cool.
power outage occurred then.
That's a good question. Oh, shit, I didn't eat lunch because we had to go pick up Jacob. I didn't get to eat lunch. I should go make something.
You didn't have to go.
That's true. I didn't have to go.
I just wanted to scold you, Jacob.
Yes, you did. I know. Okay, let's see.
Even after an
Hidden
accident-
Great Crown A.
even after an
Grant
accidental
invincibility
steal,
for
it's not
1 turn.
terrible in bed.
Chance to grant self debuff immunity for 1 turn. Chance to grant instant death immunity. That's nice and will come up in several occasions.
Even after
Chance
an
to grant
accidental
self
steal,
buff
it's not
removal
really
immunity.
good right now. Thoughts on that? Accidentally see kill someone still in
Okay, so Ereshkigal seems to have good skills. Give me a sec to do some shit. Ah, it looks like the stream is frozen for a bit.
Now the power went out, that's all.
Okay, no, it's just my page is buffering. That's all. Because it says the stream is still live. Okay, let me read through the rest of Ereshkigal's page. That first skill, Hidden Crown A, seems pretty good.
It's got fucking bodies through the
I'll be
turret.
honest, that seems like a pretty decent skill.
My hitbox was sticking through the shield on my turret then. So I literally just got bodied.
Okay, a Mana Burst. That's also 50% NP charge. That's pretty decent.
He missed 7 shots. after
We
jumping
haven't
in.
seen a skill like that really. Or we have a few skills that have attack boosts that are also NP gain. Or NP charge up. Most of them are pretty decent, to be honest with you. This one doesn't appear to be any different. Guarded on both of them. That's pretty shitty. Okay, so a 50% on both. That's pretty good. I'm not sure about most how most mana bursts work, but I'm pretty sure most of them aren't 50%. Protection from the Netherworld EX grants party protection from the Netherworld's status for 3 turns. Enables additional effects on her NP. Increase party's defense. Increase party's NP generation. Increase party's max HP by 3,000. Wow, that's nice. 30% NP gain rate is pretty good, and 20% defense is nothing to scoff at, really. Like, genuinely, 30%, or 20% and 30% are pretty decent. Debuff resistance and Core of the Goddess. Debuff resistance D, so it's 12%, but she gets an extra 22%. So it's 12.5 off of debuff resistance D, and it's 22.5 off of Core of the Goddess. So in total, it's about a 35% debuff resistance, which is decent. You're gonna be avoiding a lot of debuffs with that. Territory creation A. Increase your arts card effectiveness by 11. Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, I guess she has a really nice 6-hit arts card. But, you have 1 arts card. This is the same thing with fucking, with Lancer Liz. Why do you have territory creation on a servant that has 1 arts card? It's 1 pretty good arts card, but why territory creation? Like, why 11? Why territory creation? It doesn't, like, it totally doesn't fit with the rest of her kit. I guess if you're like thinking like this character is like really good at NP looping, even though she's a buster servant, she can get her NP pretty often. Yeah, it's pretty decent, but and her NP is really good, so wanting to get that is understandable. She has a 4-hit quick card and a 6-hit arts card, and a 4-hit extra card, so she's gonna have decent NP generation, I think.
They just stared right at 3 flashbangs in a row.
5%. Or 0.5%. 0.54.
Their top players immune to flashbangs.
That might be okay.
That's
weird.
Is literally immune to flashbangs. I threw 3 right at them and watched the kill cam. All 3 flashed and she traced my head before I even moved. Like they were tracing my head before I even showed it. So yeah.
Okay, let's see. So she gets an attack. Oh, okay. So her Noble Phantasm has. It gives an attack up to enemies, to allies with protection from the underworld. She gives a 20% attack up for all allies with protection from the underworld. This doesn't include herself, I think. It might. I'm not sure. Allies usually means it doesn't include the self, so I would have to like test that to see whether or not it includes her. This doesn't really matter because usually I think protection from the underworld lasts 3 turns. Yeah, it lasts 3 turns, and you're gonna be activating it as quickly as possible just to get the effects off. Because, like, you want to get her NP off as quickly as possible because it's a really good one. The thing that's, like, really good about this NP is the overcharge increases Buster card effectiveness, and it activates before the, Noble Phantasm goes off. It's also a really weird classification as anti-mountain, which I've not seen an anti-mountain class Noble Phantasm before.
Look behind you.
Is there a cat?
No, just the TV right there has terrible graphics.
It's a window.
Oh, outside graphics suck.
I hate your shitty jokes and memes, Tyler.
I went outside once, the graphics were terrible.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
No, you did hear it.
I know, and that's why I went.
What do you think? Are the graphics good?
I will not dignify that with a proper response. 10 to 50% on that Buster
Graphics
buff
are good.
that activates before the Noble Phantasm begins. So, in general, you will be getting, if you activate Cage with the Noble Phantasm, you will be getting about a 60% buff without any other buffs, which is pretty good. Oh, it survived. She gets a little bit extra damage than it shows on her card because Core of the Goddess acts as divinity and magic resistance. Oh, lost connection to the game's servers.
I know where this is. Done. But I guess the graphics
The
are any
bitrate
better
dipped
now.
for a second. What?
Do you think the graphics are better outside now?
You can go check.
If I do, the power might go out.
But weren't you just outside a couple minutes ago?
No, I went to the door.
No, before you came inside, you were outside.
Yeah.
Why is Scotty on the top servants list? I guess there are probably a bunch of JP players that just got her recently. She doesn't have a raid up, so they must have been really fucking lucky. Oop. Okay, and the other one is Abigail Williams, a Forerunner. Now, Forerunners are really good.
This cab is retarded.
Forerunners are really good because you will find that they are the first class to be resistant to Berserkers. 4-hit Quick card, 6-hit Arts card, and 5-hit Buster. Or 4-hit Buster and 5-hit Extra. Her April Fool's fucking card is amazing.
How many shots does it take?
Price drop on Emergency Cyberse.
Everybody just died to a 5 HP fucking cab.
It dropped by 5%, 5 cents. It is now at 28.75.
Down from 20.
You are inching ever closer to getting your Emergency Cyberse, Tyler.
Yes.
When are you gonna pick them up? When it's at what price?
Maybe on the Black Friday sale.
There's a Black Friday sale?
Yeah.
What is it? How does that work?
They cut random shit and just price in half.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to pay attention during
And I
that.
think it's for an hour only though. But from what I read, there's a Black Friday sale.
That sounds interesting.
And who should I play? Pick my poison.
You get to play Alibi.
Alibetti Spaghetti. Want me to try and pretend to be an alibi?
I forgot that you call Alibi
I'm gonna
Alibetti
try and
Spaghetti.
pretend to be an alibi.
Oh, you're gonna do that shitty joke that I made
I'm
earlier?
gonna try and be an alibi.
One of her fucking drones.
Yes.
Existence outside the domain EX. Gain 2 critical stars per turn. Increase your debuff resistance by 12%.
How many people
Divinity? Wait, why does Abby have divinity? Abby's someone who was killed during the Salem witch trials, wasn't she? Is it because of Azathoth or whatever? Not Azathoth. No, yeah, Azathoth, right?
What?
Well, whatever the reason, Abigail has divinity.
Damn, this pistol. This isn't the shotgun pistol, and look at the damage to the floor.
What the fuck? Whoa! That's a hole. Oh wait, I didn't need to use espionage. Okay, let's see. Prayer of Faith C. Charge party's NP gauge by 10% every turn for 3 turns. Increase party's NP damage for 3 turns. That's a pretty good skill. Sanity Loss B. In lore, that is a very, very dangerous skill for a servant to have. Like, I would not want a servant with sanity loss.
Fall for this.
Fall for what?
I have an alibi.
Ah. Okay, sanity loss B. Inflicts terror status on all enemies for 3 turns. Why 3 turns? 3 turns is way too low for a terror. Terror should be... Like, all of them have been 5 turns up to now, and you just randomly give Abby 3 turns instead of 5? She's got the better stun chance, but... Like her stun chance is 50% instead of, well, no, she's got a worse... It's multiple turns, but it's only 50% chance each turn, and it takes into account the opponent's, It takes into account the opponent's, whatchamacallit, their, stun resistant, or their NP, what was it, the, debuff resistance. Reduces their defense for 3 turns, which is good. At least it has that defense. So that's probably why, because it also has the defense reduction.
Why am I the only one that
So they had to tie the terror to the defense. The bad thing about this particular brand of NP, or this particular brand of debuff, is that it is listed in game file as mental debuff removal. So this is very helpful when you think that, or when you remember that David and what's his face? I'm trying to remember his name. The 4-star David. I think his name is Tristan. Tristan, that's who it is. David and Tristan can both remove debuffs. Mental debuffs specifically. So terror can be removed by David's skill. Witch Trial A+. Remove one enemy's... reduce one enemy's NP gauge by 1. So is it just a guaranteed? Yeah. Reduce their attack for 3 turns. That's pretty good. It's on a 7-turn cooldown, which is kind of but that's a pretty good. Otherwise, it's pretty decent to the skill. Clethoff Rhizome EX removes one enemy's buffs. Activates first. Fuck me, damn. We only have one other servant that has a removes buffs before NP activates skill. And that's Amakusa Shiro Tokasara. And that guy is still used now just to remove fucking debuffs.
They all went remove.
Wouldn't you? Deals damage to a single enemy. What is the overcharge effect? Reduces their critical attack chance for 1 turn. Okay. And it's a pretty big one too, 30 to 70%. I think I would have preferred that to be a smaller percent and over multiple turns. But if it has to be... if it has to be the way it is, I guess I'm fine with it being... short, but effective. It's no Gate of Babylon, that's for sure. It's not going to save you from anything, really. It's not gonna completely neuter anything like a Gate of Babylon or a what's the one that Nightingale has? Damn it, Nightingale Pact. I wouldn't call it equivalent to one of those, but it's still, it'll save you every now and then. Hollow tree filled with a remnant of light. That's what apparently Cleathoff rhizome. Probably not. That's probably a loose translation of something.
You just stared right at them 3 times, but thank you. If you didn't get that kill after looking at them 3 times while they were looking away, I would have
Strangled?
No. We've got an IQ. Or the
Ooh, wait, caster of, what's a caster of, I'm trying to remember the name, caster of Orleans. Of Orkianos, my bad. Caster of Orkianos is gonna be in this one too.
Time to bait again, Ben.
Popular servants. Does nobody care about Caster of Orkianos right now? It looks like they don't. No, they do. There she is. She's at 38 on the popularity chart. What are her skills? Her first ascension I'm not a big fan of. Her second and third are really good. Caster of Orkianos is a very, very weird servant. I've got to read this out for you. So she's got rapid words of the... I'm being talked over by a child.
You know, it's a little weird how you slowly slip around.
Okay, let me read that. Wait, what is... Okay. Rapid words of the Divine Bee. So I think this is a slightly weaker version of Media's skill. Which is, I mean, it's still like a guaranteed NP at 10. Media's was a guaranteed NP at 4. But at 10 it is a guaranteed NP. Poison Meal A. Inflict poison for 3 turns to all enemies. Reduce their defense for 3 turns. Decent. A defense debuff is good. Tied with poison is, I guess, a little better. Not super better, but a little better. Advice for Sailing A. Increase crit star drop rate of all allies for 3 turns. From 30 to 50%. Decent. It also removes debuffs for all allies. This skill would be completely useless. This skill would quite literally be useless without that debuff removal. Territory creation, I guess that makes sense. She has 3 arts cards. Item construction, she does have a debuff. 2, in fact.
The bait worked.
Well, 3 considering her Noble Phantasm.
They walked right past me after I took shots at them, and then I just shot 3 of them in the head as they lined up in front of me.
Metabo Piglets. Rank C. Deals damage to a single enemy. Transforms them into a pig. Similar to stun, but only works on certain enemies. I think it only works on humans and crap. You can't turn a dragon into a pig, I think. And overcharge. This is guaranteed, by the way. Like there's like no resisting being turned into a pig. Increase or decrease crit rate for a single enemy, which it's 3 turns, mainly because it's only gonna matter for 2 of those 3 turns, because one of them they're gonna be a fucking pig. She exists in a very, very weird realm as a servant of not really doing much because other than stun locking.
What's with the flab back here?
What?
What is with her flab?
I don't know. That is something I noticed as well, and it is very worrying.
You gotta get that checked out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's turn all these stockings into,
That little flabby spot out in a moment.
Ooh, hey!
It could just be like some saggy muscle or something, that's possible, but... One way to tell if it's bothering her is in a moment I'm gonna press on it lightly and see Well, you know, might get me scratched up a bit, but it'll at least confirm if it's something serious or not. Or will give an idea if it's something serious.
Oh, got a text. I wonder if that's Lewis. Yes, I got a text message. Hey Ben, I don't see your email.
He's got it
Oh.
again.
Dad might have given me the
Yo, Lewis.
wrong...
You got power again. Did I somehow knock your power out when I left or something? Did I somehow knock your power out when I
Hold
left
up, I
or
gotta
some shit?
compose an email.
Ben said your power was out.
Yeah, he told me that his power was out. Fuck, come on. My freaking caps lock is on.
Ah, fuck. I just got fucking
Female.
baited. These guys are all playing recruit and my team is getting demolished by them.
Okay,
I'm the
sent.
only one with more than one kill in the entire team. Oh wait, my bad. The two people with one kill each finally got to 2 kills. Yeah, because I gotta show you my new operator I bought.
Copy link. Wait.
Oh, I just baited the enemy team hard as alibi. I stood still, fired a couple
Okay,
shots. They thought it was
forward
they thought it was someone else and killed Cav through a
to-
wall trying to find where they were getting shot from. Then they lined up in front of me and I wiped them all with headshots only.
That's an A, not an @ sign.
Then let's see if the bait works again, Ben. This guy just... Why did you blow a giant hole in the wall there? Now people are gonna see me easier.
Alright, email sent. We should be fine. Alright, let's open more boxes. Code, okay. I'm guessing that's a friend code. So I'll put that in.
Why is this Ella never...
Oh, I'm out of boxes.
She's never once even been close to objective and she lets them cap it every time.
Oh, that's room. Damn it. Can I say Calamity Janie is such a freaking interesting servant? So let's worry about friend request. Wait. You last logged in 7 days ago. Goodbye. Oh, that was level, not I've been playing 7 days. Login old. 46 days ago. Yeah, you're not coming back. Thumper! 41 days ago. You're probably not coming back. You're probably a dead account. I need to clear roulette 5 times for Max Gialter Lily, right? I think so. Give me a sec to check. Can you get him? Tyler. Can you get him?
No, why would I get him?
Clearing out space for new people, since these people might not be coming back. I think you're fine. I think this is a dead account.
Why would I go get him?
So the friend code was 194-320-608. Search. Apply. Asking for a friend that just started playing. Let's see. So I'll check right here. Let me see.
I have secured this
event.
spooky boy.
They have like a thing.
I have secured him in his cage.
So you need logs, and you need 20 logs. And I think you get 5 per thing. Yeah, you get 5 per thing. Wait, 5 times. There's only 4 Gilles de Reyes. No, I think you only need to clear it 4 times. If I remember correctly, you only need to clear it 4 times, because you need the 4 Gilles de Reyes, and you need the 4 logs for, because it costs 5 to get, it costs 5 to get a John. Yeah, it costs 5 to get a John. So you get 5 per run, so I think you only need to do 4.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm gonna grab food stuff.
Can you stop so I can click on roulette? Okay. So see, there's 1 per thing, and then what's it after the first one? You need 5. What do you get on the 5th one that you need? Well, you get 4. So like, okay, let me check the roulette details one more time. You might need 5, and I could be wrong, and I'm just forgetting something about the roulettes. It's available from the private. Yeah. You need to get the silver exchange ticket. Yeah. You're right. You need to get the silver exchange ticket for to get. I think you need to get the silver exchange ticket on the 5th one, if I remember correctly. That's not what I wanted to do. Is that fixed? Yeah, that's fixed. I messed with the window size for a second, so now I gotta see if it's... There we go. That's fixed. So yeah, you just need to do 5. And 5 should be pretty... Like, it shouldn't be too hard. So, if you're looking for the items in the store, these are the items in the store. It's hard to get these two, the fruitcake, because there's not a good node for them right now, but you can get the cheesecake and the, what is the other one? What is this? No, tell me what this resource is. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, wait, I can click. Shortcake. You can get the cheesecake and the shortcake really easily, but the, What is the top one? Excuse me? The fruitcake is hard to get. That is not what fruitcake looks like. Look at your units? Okay, let me look at your units real quick. So the code was 19... I think I can still look it up this way. 320-608. Search. Confirm support setup. Ooh! It's Medusa Lily! That's a hard to come across... That's a hard to come across servant. I don't have one yet. Martha is good. debuff removal. He's gonna be better later on than he is now, but he's still good now. Emiya is probably one of, if not the best, archers in the game. This is an outclassed servant by a lot of different servants, but she's good for certain things.
Yep. You know what I wish she had?
I think I already hit this, but I'll hit it again. Just in case I didn't. You are already friends, okay.
But
What?
You know what I wish Ying had instead of claymores?
What?
Flashbangs.
You're a terrible person. Why do you want everyone to have flashbangs? She's level 60? Nice. So you've been playing for 7 days. That's good. I would recommend, like, early on, early on in your time playing it, you're just gonna want to, like, level up servants. And if you have to run through the story to get, like, a specific node to farm stuff for a character, you should probably do that. You can get through, like... Yeah, let me check something. You can get through quite a few chapters just using Hercules. Like, if you have a friend that has a max bond Hercules, you can get through, I think, London, up to London, maybe even E Pluribus Unum, with just a level 80 maxed bond Hercules. I know because I've done so. On friends' accounts who asked me to play through the game for them. Camelot, probably you're not gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to get away with that because certain fights are a little difficult.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Or at least I think I know. You wanna know what it is?
What is it?
So, it's not causing her any pain, but I felt something, like I felt a small point. Her back two fucking breasts are sagging huge for some reason.
Why? I don't believe that, but okay.
That's what it seems like. Either that or something in there is weighing them down in the area. I don't know why, but it seems like it's...
we gotta follow.
It feels
Hold
like
up,
it's
let me
either
check.
muscle. It's like muscle
Skahath
or fat.
2019. Thank you for the follow. Another follow. Saber of Light 1. Thank you for the follow. I should get back to farming now.
Yeah, it feels like some sort of muscle or fat, but it's located around her, like around her back too. Like, So, yeah. I can't say for sure exactly what it is, but I could say a rough idea of just some sort of fat buildup there.
Oh yeah, I was reading servant skills. What am I?
You know what you should read?
I was reading JP servants just so I know who I want.
You know what you should read? The Holy Bible.
Coming from an atheist, that doesn't make much sense. Like,
It's the Bible.
you're making like a weird recommendation. I know you're an atheist. That's a very...
It's a Bible, not the Bible.
Okay,
The
sure.
Bible is better.
Hokusai. Do I want to wait for Hokusai?
The Bible is so much better, man.
Okay.
You need Jesus.
Anyone you're going to save for? I'm at a hard line between the three that are coming up. I like Hokusai. I think Hokusai is really cool of a servant.
Oh, you know another thing you need, then?
I'm just not gonna listen to you now, Tyler.
Yeah, you're gonna look.
Let's see, what else we got here? Yeah, Hokusai skills are really cool. I'm between Hokusai, Ereshkigal, and Abigail. One of those three I'm going to use my Saint Quartz on.
Yep, not funny. Funny laugh.
Hokusai is probably the best of the three. Especially for the lineup I have going.
Lewis, you know what I wish Ying had as her gadget instead of claymores and breach charges?
Aresh. Oh yeah, Aresh is great.
Just more flashes for her.
Are you planning on saving for anyone? Yep. There's one guy on YouTube who has saved up, I think it was like 100 there's one guy on YouTube who has saved up like 600 free Saint Courts and I think like 100 summoning tickets. You're saving for Scotty? Oh, you're gonna be waiting a bit, bud. I think she's about she's what, like about a year away? There's one guy who's been saving like, yeah, he saved like 100 Saints, 100 summon tickets, and yeah, 600 free, he hasn't spent any money on the game, and he's got like 600 free Saints Courts. And it's ridiculous how many Saint Courts he's got. Let me, it's Saya, I believe. I can get a link to the channel. I have YouTube open. Bring back to regular YouTube, please. This guy right here. Wait, does he have a video? Can I find the video? No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Close player. I wanted to see if I could find a video where he was talking about how many free, was it the free Saints Courts? Or was it the free 4-star dilemma, I think it was.
How is he still alive? He overhealed before he engaged me. Fuck you, dog. He overhealed before he engaged me because he knew where I was.
Is it this one?
Nobody is home.
Yeah, it's this one. I was wrong. He's got 700 Saint Courts. And 177 free summon tickets. Just as proof. Paste. There. That is how many he's got.
How dead are you?
You've saved 1,180 Saints Court. Damn. That is impressive. Yeah, you're getting Scotty with that amount, by the way. You'll have no problem getting Scotty at this point.
I think I told you how earlier today my joystick was acting up.
Not request.
Earlier today my joystick was acting up and I was looking for the receipt to exchange it, but I couldn't. Someone took it. So in frustration,
I've been using tickets as YOLOs. Yeah, you should use tickets as YOLOs.
Into the wall and that fixed it.
Until you're getting like really close to Scotty, go ahead and use tickets as YOLOs on servants that you want.
Flew across the room.
Do you have any servants that match up really well with Scotty? That shouldn't be too big a deal. I got a lot of SRs from tickets. I have a friend who gets all his SRs. Like whenever there's an SR that I want, he gets it on a ticket. Like he got when Musashi was on Raid Up, he did one ticket and got Musashi, and I almost strangled him because he doesn't play the game ever. Level 100 Scotty and level 100 Assassin Skaha. Oh, level 100 Skaha. I would recommend like when the next free 4-star comes around, if you don't have Lancelot, he's gonna become a massively better servant. when Scotty comes out.
I'm buying operators over time.
So if when the next free 4-star comes around, you did one ticket and got Merlin. Wow.
So that I can spend it on food and
but yeah, when the next one comes around, because I'm sure Scotty will be out by then. When the next one comes around, if you don't have it, or if you don't have Lancelot yet, he's a good one to grab.
Are you actually gonna do it?
You go for waifus? True. You'll probably have Lancelot by that time anyways, because he's fairly common. He doesn't get raid ups often, but he's in the regular gacha pool.
I destroyed the Buckeye Sable.
He's not the best servant in the regular gacha pool, but he is a good servant. That's for sure. Is Caster Gil in the regular gacha pool? Because if so, I believe he's the best 4-star in the regular gacha pool. I think he is, because I got him during the. I got him during one of the. No, I got him during Neurofest, I think. I used 5 tickets to try and get Ishtar and got spooked by someone I wanted more. Who did you get spooked by?
No, you're gonna die now. This alibi is she's about to get flanked on.
Oof, Amber Alert.
Hold up.
That's bad.
The fucking twin stood
John?
on top of her.
I actually have an NP2 John, I think. Wait, no, did I get another John after getting the NP2 John? I have an NP3 Sanzao.
Oh, by the way, if you see Gridlock, she's really low. I tagged her in the head 7 times. Blood is all over the floor out there.
So whenever a caster is on raid up and I try to roll for said caster, I get Sanzao. This has happened 3 times. I spent 1 summoning ticket on the raid up banner for Sanzao when it first came out, and I got her immediately. Then the raid up banner for Merlin was out, and I got another Sanzao. And then the summer banner came out with Nero, and I got another Sanzao. To be fair, I got Nero as well, but... and now the same thing is happening with Shizuka Gozen. I have an NP4 Shizuka Gozen. And it's not like whenever there's a Saber on Summon Up. This is just whenever there's a banner and I roll. There's like a 50-50 chance I get a Shizuka Gozen.
No, he's not at all talking about fate.
Is this Lewis talking? This is Lewis talking.
Lewis called you a hoe.
I can believe he called me that.
Well, now he actually called you a hoe.
Oh no, okay, she's 3 right now. I forgot I got spooked by her at some point.
I made a joke and then you're like,
I heard people use 1K plus Saints Courts. And not getting character, just NP1. Yeah. I've heard of that too, and it's sad. Sometimes it happens. The drop rates on this the drop rates in this game are not like amazing.
They're not in the living room. They're not upstairs. They're in the basement.
I am missing, I think, 1 5-star caster.
Oh,
yeah, I'm missing Tama.
George.
Why do I keep on getting 5-star? Like, I jokingly rolled on this one for the 4-star Berserker on it. That's why I'm stocking up, making my odds 100%.
Yes, you will. Someone just...
Wait, what was that? Was I gonna check on something? Oh, yeah. Shizuka. No, I was gonna check. I'm gonna check Sanzao first. See where she's at. That's not exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah, 3-star currently. Just wait, when the next caster that I want is on Raid Up, I'll get a 4-star. Or sorry, an NP4. Okay, where's Shizuka go? I've passed her, haven't I? Yeah, here's Shizuka Gozen. Cause I always say that I have one and then I never actually show.
Party time.
NP4. I'm just waiting for the next banner to get an NP5, cause that's what's gonna happen.
Party time. I just flashbanged everything.
Oh, yeah, I can wait. I can up a skill, can't I? I was gonna up one of Matahari's skills, since I'm using her for this event. Oh. Imperial privilege or sadistic nature. Sadistic nature, I guess. I want Atalanta Altar too. Oh god, I would love Atalanta Altar. Atalanta is a fun servant. Is that a lion? Is that a lion? That's a... Is he strangling a lion? Okay. Just gonna ignore that. Oh, clicked off screen. Double cross. Why does she have the skill double cross? Oh wait, never mind. I need more of these.
Instead of going for you. But dude, I just pre-fired the shit out of both Cav and I think it was Rook. I just sat there, standing still and shooting while they tried to peek me.
Boo! Animal abuse sensor.
Look,
it's off screen. We don't have to worry about the animal abuse anymore. Look, I'm just looking for a freaking max limit broken. There we go. Wait, before I do this, I should go to my own support setup and put it on someone. Support setup. We'll put it. Wait, why is Astolfo still here? Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it there.
More men.
What was that, Tyler?
We need more men on our team.
Okay.
I mean, I should have probably specified more.
Yeah, no. That just came out of nowhere, Tyler.
I just wrote it out like, we need more men, because we had a guy, like,
okay, we'll give you this. Because Knight's Dignity is not, well, no, Knight's Dignity helps, I think.
Yes, exactly, that's the problem.
Where did I put it? Where is my Knight's Dignity? There it is.
The only female operator we allow here is Cat.
Oh, shoot.
She's man enough.
Who was I gonna put it on? I'll just put it on you.
Okay.
There we go.
What was her name? Oh.
So I literally just got finished farming with because my brother wanted me to.
Right after I got shot you. Like,
my brother wanted me to play the game for him.
Right after I shot you.
My brother wanted me to play the game for him during the Halloween event because it was
like
really annoying to him.
I went to get payback for him,
but he wanted to complete the event anyways, so he had me do it for him.
He was like, wait,
and
why the fuck did you shoot me? It was an accident. I'm like, he literally said right as I was shooting, that he wants the kill cam. And
so,
right as I shot you.
After,
So I'm like, sorry, bro. It was like literally too late for that.
Okay, so after, I don't care, Tyler. I heard the whole conversation.
Ben, it's time to do the thing. You wanted to see Lewis
do
the thing.
I don't care. Being.
I literally the second.
What was I talking about that he interrupted me? Oh yeah. Literally, when this event was when this event was announced, my brother I had just finished playing the Halloween event for my brother because he wanted it done, but he's like really new to the game, and he didn't want to burn through it because it was gonna take him hours.
Oh, a bit late for that.
And so he had me do it, and so I literally just got finished playing that event when this event was announced, and I was like, oh wow, that's coming out in how many days? Like 5? Yeah, I did too. It still takes a while though when your account is like super new. His account is really, really new. It doesn't have a single maxed character.
It was an accidental TK. But literally the second you said you got team killed and you said
Literally me too.
Him
Yeah.
Right as you were saying it was an accident.
It's fine. It was just really stressful having to do all that shit for a person.
It was an accident. I shot you. Hi there. One of them's trying to spawn.
Being on an event is stressful. Yeah, being on events is stressful.
One of them was
I think what's more stressful is waiting for an event to come out and it's like it doesn't come out at the time that you think it's gonna come out. I imagine like events are stressful in Japan because like you never know when they're gonna come out.
here.
Oh wait, we'll do this. Okay, Katsushika Hokusai. What are we talking about on skills? All things in nature. Grants self-evasion for 1 turn. Charges on MP gauge at max to 30%. Bond of father and daughter A. Increases owned arts performance by 30%.
I took it out.
For 3 turns. Increase own buff removal resistance for 1 turn. It's 100% at max. Increase own debuff resistance for 1 turn. 100% at max. Could have just given her NP... They could have just given her debuff immunity for 1 turn. And it's essentially the same thing.
One of them's in this little...
Alias. Octopus from another planet B. Decrease defense for 3 turns to enemies with arts cards. When attacking with arts cards. That's a very interesting skill. 20% at max. Her Noble Phantasm deals extra damage to mankind attribute enemies. Isn't that just all servants?
Opposite sides of that wall, I nuked them both at once.
8 months till Scotty? Oh wait, so aren't all servants mankind enemies, or am I wrong about that? Does she just have like increased damage to all enemies? Most, yeah, you're right. My bad. She doesn't have increased damage against other Forerunners. My bad. Other Forerunners are not mankind, but most servants are mankind. So there's like what 3 servants in the game she doesn't have increased damage against.
Off till the next round, so feel free.
Does her summer form do that too? Servants. Sabers. JP servants. Katsushika Hokusai. Saber. Does this do it too? No. It's the NP. It's the NP strength thing. I'm surprised they didn't just give her that gimmick. I guess on a single target that would be a little too broken.
Hey, same crew.
Like that skill is that NP is balanced by the fact that it is multi-target.
We found the exact same squadron.
Although I would like to mention you can really easily NP loop with her, so it's not super
Did I
balanced.
accidentally hit to stay as team, or did we just
Summer
happen to find
2020
the same
event after Scotty 2. So
crew? Maybe
KF Saint Quet. Yeah.
And Lewis said you're a hoe.
I believe that. Oh, you get Scotty almost pretty quick after the Apocrypha event too.
I told him for it. What? That he's a hoe? I already told him.
Lewis, if you have something to say, text it to me. He's not gonna say it to me. Summer John. Oh yeah, Summer John's gonna be great. An archer that can NP loop really easily. What was it? She's got like a 4-hit or something, 4 or 5-hit. I can check this. I have Google in front of me. Servants, archers. It's loading. JP servants, archers.
I moved it.
Oh, Asagami Fujino. That's the next one I'm saving for. So really, like, odd choice to save for, but I like her as a character. She's really interesting. Summer John.
Watch this.
We should be getting her really soon, shouldn't we?
I'm the best.
How much free Saint Courts can you get in 8 months? It's a good question. I think a lot.
It's gonna work. They're never gonna shoot me.
Summer Jean has a 4-hit Noble Phantasm that is arts, and her skills are all sort of centered around NP, getting her NP and then using it as often as possible. Oh, she has the opposite of Moriarty's charisma. She's got Servant Cheer, increase party's attack for 3 turns, further increase the attack of allies with good alignment except for herself. Although all these skills can just be attributed to being like versions of Steno's 3rd skill. Maybe 500 or so. If you save, yeah, probably 500.
Look at this. He just walked right in and didn't see me crouched. He actually thought I was an alibi. Here to the side. He looked at me, thought I was an alibi, then noticed it.
You can probably get about 500.
I actually baited all of them but the Ash. The Ash shot a single bullet, so I ducked, and then she's like, oh, that is the real alibi.
Independence EX Celeb. Let's... Is that the first existence of a servant with Independent EX, or does Gil have that? No, I think Gil has Independent A+. Servants. Archers. Gilgamesh. No, yeah. Gil has Independent A+. That's the first time we've seen a servant with Independent Action EX. Increase NP gauge by 3% only when on a field near water for yourself. That's okay, I think. It's still that 10% critical strength.
To destroy the fucking armor. Nope,
Scathach would kick Gil's ass. Probably.
I sat my throne on top of it and they shot me. Whoa, look at
It's more than likely that she would kick Gil's ass, yeah.
That was at 700 split second ago.
Can we get more forms of Hercules? I feel like he can appear in more than just Avenger or Archer. Yeah. I feel he can appear in more than just Archer and Berserker. We don't even have his archer form yet. Has the event CE dropped for anyone yet? It actually dropped for me a few moments ago on stream. It's a very, very hard to get to drop item. Why isn't Skahath never in a Fate anime? She be unstoppable. She was in one of the games recently. She was in Stella Link. And I think that's probably why she is pretty powerful. She got beat by Kualter though. Although you could argue that was because she was surprised by him using a skill that she didn't know about.
Check this out.
No, do not play a copyrighted video while I'm freaking streaming.
Are you surprised that Johnny Austin is playing Sword and Shield?
No.
Playing my Sword version?
No.
How come?
She was pretty surprised. Yes, she was. She was pretty surprised, I'll be honest.
I missed the shot, but dude, I just kept peeking.
It was
spraying without even looking at the screen. How many did I kill? I think I got one. I got a single kill.
It's interesting. I do wonder if she hadn't been caught off guard by that skill, who would have won that fight? Yeah, no, I guess that was off. If she hadn't been caught off guard by that noble phantasm, who would have won?
You know, LMGs are fun. I don't even need to try and aim. I just kept.
And to be fair, she did. Even if she was caught off guard, she did manage to correct herself, and survive the hit. Both defense debuffs missed. Okay.
What a fucking butt. You're a fucking butt. You know, look at this is my primary weapon on fucking.
I purposely put the one with the higher Skahath, I think. I don't think Ku can't use magic in his Berserker state either. I don't... Oh, wait, let me check. Because I think he has Primordial Rune in his Berserker state, so... Cullen. Where is he? There we go. I think he has Primordial Rune as one of his skills.
How are they so bad?
Madness of the Spirits. That's not Primordial Rune. Never mind. He probably can't use magic. Yeah, you're right. So yeah. If Skahath was to use something like Gate of Sky or something, he'd have a hard time keeping up with it. Not that he isn't already having, like... GG, yeah.
Lewis, my finger's about to slip. My finger is gonna slip. I almost took her head off, but she got just low enough.
What is Madness of the Spirits? Let me check this. Do you have a description for it? No, they just don't show.
She was at the door for a split sec.
Calamity Jane. This is an interesting servant.
What? Lewis, you walked in front of me.
Lewis dead.
Why are you walking in front of me? You walked in front of me 3 times and every shot meant for it.
Situational awareness. Not very good.
Every time I tried to shoot her, you walked in front
so
of me.
Calamity Jane. This is a very interesting servant that came out really, really recently.
You just saved her life.
His offense is off the charts, but defense is not really there. Well, he's got the armor.
Yo.
And he's still got was it protection from arrows. Oh, you've almost got Raikou to Bond 10? Nice. Calamity Jane. This is a servant that came out really, really recently. So, Sabotage, okay. Okay skill, not really super great. A Galactic Messenger, another pretty okay skill. It decreases all enemies charged by 1. This is a guaranteed, by the way. It's not a percent, it's a guarantee. Increase own attack for 3 turns by like 20%, 10 to 20. And then 80% chance to increase the attack of all allies except herself by 10 to 20%. And then charges party NP gauge by 10%. This is probably the best form of what is a, like, vampirism skill, I guess you could say. In the game so far. This is, if you're gonna compare it to anything, it's essentially a vampirism-like skill. And it's the best one so far. And then her third skill, that's the really interesting thing. Show me the way, O North Star. Increase buff success rate for a single ally for 3 turns. Depending on crit stars, add the following effects. Plus 10 plus crit stars. Increase critical damage for a single ally. 20 plus crit stars. Increase critical star gather rate for a single ally. 30 plus. Apply evade to a single ally for 1 turn. 40 plus. Apply ignore invincibility to a single ally for 3 turns. And 50 plus. Increase NP gauge for a single ally by 20%.
But I got really wounded.
These are all on 1 servant. That's such a that's really, really. It's interesting. I like it. It's a very interesting way to handle a servant. And there are plenty of situations where you can just create 50 crit stars out of nowhere. Or where you can change 50 to like 30 to like 50 or something. And you only really need the first, like, 4 or so, in most cases. Yeah, first 3 to 4. The 5th one's just kind of like, oh, that's nice. You're probably gonna have your NP anyway when you use this skill. And then her Noble Phantasm, Space Dead Man's Hand. I don't know why it couldn't just be Dead Man's Hand, but okay. It applies sure hit to self, and then decrease defense for enemies. Activate for a single enemy. Activates first. Decrease quick resistance for a single enemy. Activates first.
That was me.
Very interesting servant in my opinion.
On a needle. But I also popped a small hole in the wall with some LMG hip fire, then sprayed 2 people down safely.
Can you get on that tower?
What?
There's a tower in this map. Can you get on it?
No.
No? That's sad.
You know what else you can't get on?
What?
These nuts. Mostly because you're not my type, for starters. I like my women without dicks.
I'm not a woman.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Reach comes out December 3rd. Nice. That's my voicemail. I didn't mean to click on that. Halo Reach comes out for the Master Chief Collection on the 3rd of December. That's nice.
I only played Tachunk.
But yeah, this is the character that I'm waiting for. I don't know when she's coming out. I'm hoping soon. But Asagami Fujino. Very interesting sort of alternate Buster
Out when you shoot.
archer. What?
Dude, you're gonna be angry.
What did he do?
He broke something of yours.
What did he break?
Something of yours.
Did he break my cup?
Yeah.
Why were you touching my cup?
I wasn't touching your cup.
Then why is it broken? Why is the cup that I've had
Knock it over.
Why is the cup that I've had for a decade that was a gift from my dad broken?
Apparently he bumped it and knocked it over in his plate.
Okay. Go away. I am not mad. I am not mad. Asagami Fujino. Mystic Eyes of Distortion EX. Increase zone Buster performance for 3 turns. It's 35%, which is an interesting place to leave it.
Yeah.
At max.
The second yours ended.
Usually we get a round number, not an odd number.
Happened several times.
Then NP, increase on NP generation. That's a weird thing to put on a Buster skill. And then what was it? Defense up for 3 turns. Or ignore defense up for 3. Yeah, ignore defensives. Ignore defense ups buffs for 3 turns. Clairvoyance, Darkness, C. Darkness. Okay. Ignores evasion for 3 turns and then produces 15 crit stars. This is not a clairvoyance skill. Excuse me? This is not how clairvoyance works.
Frost didn't even try.
This is how instincts work. This is not how clairvoyance
How am I
works.
always like high up on the
You can't
leaderboard
just
no matter
make an
what I do?
instinct skill
I was
and call
playing
it clairvoyance.
I was second place last round.
Because we know what clairvoyance does, and this is not it.
You're in the middle, bitch.
You could have just given it the like nobody's gonna complain about the ignore evade, but or the
No, we did
sure
not,
hit.
We did not fucking
Why
group up with them.
why the gain crit stars?
We did not
And then
group
Sense of
up with
Pain
them.
A.
We just fucking, like,
Reduces
wrecked
own
them, so we
damage
ended up with the
taken
same group as
for
the
3
rest of them.
turns. Now this is by 2,000. It reduces damage taken by 2,000
I just started
on
in
top
my mouth.
of was it
Like,
no,
I
there's
started
nothing else.
from my
Yeah,
mouth, and
it's just
otherwise
two.
I, like,
It's just reduces own damage taken by 2,000 for 3 turns. That's really, really good.
That's the guy who accidentally killed you, and then I executed him before you told me it was an accident.
Grants self-gut status 1 time for 3 turns. Reduces own max HP by
apologized to him,
2,000.
And he was really chill about it. He's like, bro, I didn't mean to hit him, but I get where you're coming from.
Mystic Eyes of Distortion is both a skill and a noble phantasm for some reason. Deals damage to a single enemy, inflicts buff block status to a single enemy. This is gonna be like the best way of getting buff block.
Did you know that I'm playing Lee Sin now?
What's with the O face?
Haha, I'm not playing Lee Sin.
Did I do something that was... What did I do that earned an O face?
The troll for the win.
2k damage reduction? Oh yeah.
How dare you insult my baldness? I'm gonna
2k damage reduction is a lot. Like, you've got to consider the amount of things that you can avoid with 2k damage resistance.
I was on the far.
If you've seen any videos about her, when she gets that, when she has that buff up, When she has that buff up, she essentially has... she essentially takes no damage. When she, when she's resistant to something and she has that buff up, she takes no damage. And if you pair it with, like, any defense skill, when you pair it with any defensive buff, she literally does take no damage from anything.
He killed the cab, and then this guy downed the pulse, so... Execution. Execution.
I think to this day, other than maybe Mash's skill, I think that that's the highest multi-turn damage reduction. Yeah, it's on par with Mash's, but it's 3 turns long.
Nah.
Yeah, it's on par with the damage reduction from Mash's first skill. But it lasts 3 turns instead of 1 hit.
I see enemies. I don't like this. Hold on, they're all piling up. They're all piling up.
BRB? Alright.
There's a map. They backed up, but there was a Maverick and a fucking Blackbeard. Maverick's coming back.
Okay, so when does the next set of story chapters come out, along with the... it comes out at some point today, I think really soon. Let me check. It'll say so. That was not the one I wanted to activate.
All of us through a single hole. Look at this, he got a triple.
Ooh. Lord Camelot is classed as a anti-evil Noble Phantasm. That's cool.
You know what? Should I troll them and just rapid blind them since they wanted to try and kick me out for executing the first murderer? I'm gonna just spam flashbangs at him. Or now we could Ying fuse combo him.
Hello, Elite Spartan.
I'm gonna throw one at the
Elite Spartan, are you the one that plays on JP? There's someone in my, there's someone who shows up for this, the streams that plays on JP. That isn't, Dead Phantom.
We owe them some points.
No, NA only? Okay, I gotta remember. Is it just Dead Phantom that plays on JP? I don't remember.
Hold on, Lewis, come here.
So I was gonna ask your opinion of Calamity Janie if you saw how she works.
That was the person who did the
no
first
clue?
execution.
I can read out Calamity Janie's skills for you.
Impact, so that's how I
I think she's a very interesting servant.
Nope.
Well, no, I only really need to read the third skill. That was a misclick. Okay, so the third skill of Calamity Janie is Show Me the Way, O North Star. Increased buff success rate for single ally. Then, depending on the amount of crit stars that you have, activate the add the following effects: increase critical damage for a single ally, increase crit star gather rate for a single ally, apply evade, apply ignore invincibility, and increase NP gauge.
Let's group up. Oh, they're dying. They're all dying. So they throw a thing down there to help out.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna hope.
So now, literally every servant in the game can have ignore invincibility without having to use.
This window, okay?
Why do I keep on losing connection to the server? Now, literally every servant in the game can have ignore invincibility without having to use
Let's
what's
move
his
to this
face?
window. Let's
Sherlock.
move to this window. Set them up at the same time.
Especially considering Calamity Janie is
Look,
only
look, it
4-star.
instead of set it.
It's a pretty good skill
It
for a
threw it instead of
4-star
setting
servant to have.
No, I used one to troll.
It's kind of gimmicky, but it's not bad. Not in the least. Okay, so what are we gonna use these on?
You wanna just fucking YOLO it? You jump in that window, I jump in this window.
Oh, I'm way too far down. My bad.
Ready?
I can only use these on Shells of Reminiscence.
some.
Space
Off to
Star
the
is
left,
really
to
good.
the right.
Yes.
Ready? Go.
I always like. I was always wondering. I would really like a servant that can like change their Noble Phantasm. Yeah. Who could just change their Noble Phantasm type. And they finally did it, and I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Ah,
Why did it have to be on a really,
literally
like...
just jumped in and won the...
I don't know, like, it had to have been an Ishtar, too, that got it.
We didn't even kill anything, and I wasn't even shooting. And
Do you
they
play
were too
JP?
scared to move in.
No, but I follow JP a lot. I've been considering for a long time making a
I
JP
played
account.
Solar Team.
I just don't want to go through all of the grinding that I did to get my my NA account to where it is.
Oh, we're in the CEO's office.
It's really easy to follow JP. It's really hard to just like
I'm going with Elephant.
to try and do a JP account at the
I'm
current
going with
time that we're
Elephant.
at. Cause there's so much you got to get through to just catch up with JP.
You smell like bitch up in here. So
Okay.
one by one, we all made that. It smells like bitch joke. I was last. You can't hear what's going on in the party, but one by one. we
No,
all
I
said
can't
it
hear what's
smells
going on
like
in the
bitch.
party, and I think I don't want to hear what's going on in the party. If they somehow got you to do that. You know who I don't see a lot of? I don't see a lot of the new ruler. Or the newest ruler from JP. Oh no, never mind. The Quetzalcoatl ruler. You never see anything out of Quetzalcoatl ruler. Is it because she's bad?
Why does it smell like bitch up in here?
Okay. Oh, wait, just Noble Phantasm. Let me see. What does Quetzalcoatl ruler do?
Lewis, call it now.
Increase
It's the
party
base
attack
I'm
for
gonna
3
stand
turns.
still and
Gain
pretend
crit
to be
stars
an
every
ally.
turn for 3 turns. That's not bad, but it's only 20%.
I got a full team kill.
And
no matter
it's
what.
on a 5-turn cooldown, which is not bad. Goddess's Gift A. Increase 1 ally's critical star absorption for 1 turn. Their critical star generation rate by 30% for 3 turns. Okay, 5-turn cooldown. Increase own buster performance for 3 turns. Increase own buster critical star absorption for... Why are these skills so weird? Like, why are some of them party? Why are some of them targeted? And why not a single critical damage up? If you're gonna be like, if your servant is devoted to doing crits. How many buster cards? 2 buster cards, 2 quick cards, 1 arts. They all have, all of her cards have decent hit amounts. 10% star generation. Core of the Goddess A. Pretty good. Magical resistance. So she has a total of 46
No.
debuff resistance. That's really good. Increase your own critical star drop rate by 100% for 1 turn.
What?
Isn't her NP? Her NP hits 4 times. It's a buster. It feels like it should be quick with that as its NP up. Or that as its activates first effect. That's
Rabbit's 83.
a weird skill, I'm gonna be honest. a weird thing for an NP to do.
That's the
Increase
guy
critical
who
strength
shot
for
me
all
through a
allies for 3
fucking
turns.
stone wall. He was warping around when
Okay,
I shot him.
why on her
I
NP though?
got killed.
30% to 50% is good, but... Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
3 flashbangs and we're gonna rapid light our team.
Very hard, especially because you miss a lot of events, as well as fairs. Yeah.
A lot of people look for someone with flashbangs. That is the flashbang stun grenade.
Plus, like, you're gonna miss a lot of events even now, because you've got to do a whole lot of catch-up, and there are plenty of events that are exclusively for, people who have cleared certain stages. And if some of those stages are like the Lost Belt stuff, it's gonna take you a while to get to that.
Yeah. I haven't even tried to kill anyone, I've just been memeing. Like, Ben, look at this. I have not even tried killing anyone.
Plus,
I'm
I
top
do
of the leaderboard.
like knowing what the story is and like hearing it or reading it.
The only person I
And I
tried
can't
to
really
kill
do that
was
in
the guy I
JP.
was trying to 360 no scope as alibi, and then I stood behind the wall because he was teleporting around and got shot through the wall. Other than that, I literally made no attempts to kill anyone this entire game, other than like the.
You're
fucking-
playing Siege. You should be expecting to get shot through a wall.
Yeah, he was lagging around and shot me through a stone wall.
Ah, Stonewall. That's different.
But so legit, I have not tried killing anyone. I've just been memeing.
Does anyone here play Siege? I gotta say, the most the most infuriating experience I've ever had when playing a video game is walking by a wall and getting shot in the head.
I just rapid flashed our mod tech.
I have a JP account, but I don't play daily because I don't enjoy it as much as NA since I don't understand anything. That's the general reason that I think most NA players don't make JP accounts. Well, most people that don't make JP accounts, I think that's the general reason. Is that you just don't understand anything. That and it's not super easy to get a JP account. You gotta download an APK installer and then download the APK for it. Or was it APK or APT? But yeah, the most infuriating experience is walking by a wall and getting shot to death. Because, like, you don't see it coming. There's no way for you to see it coming. Someone just decides to open fire because that wall looked nice. And the walls are shoot-throughable. Although it is nowhere near as bad as, like, explosives coming down from the roof above you. Because someone decided to fuse the room that you're in.
Wait.
It has been a very long time since I've played Siege, I think.
Look at that.
I have almost no intention of fixing that. Unless a friend asks me to play.
Look at me just trolling them. I even put a claymore there so they couldn't move. They were stuck in that corner for me to kill at my leisure. I claymored them into a corner. So if they moved an inch, they would have died.
You're mean.
Eventually it got blown up by someone throwing a fucking nade in there.
Oh, you know who's
But
cool?
They were stuck in the corner.
Was it Demon Nobu is really cool.
They were literally
Demon
stuck
King
there until I
Nobunaga?
decided to kill them.
That's the first time that we've had, like, or one of the first times that we've had, like, drastically different, servants on each,
No, I should've
change.
got Echo and just rapid stun our team. But, to be fair, they all tried to both kick me out when I executed someone who team killed. after they downed him and refused to let me revive him, so I executed him. And then they decided to try and vote kick me out for it. Everyone but Lewis voted to kick me. And I'm like, okay then. So this entire match I've been trolling them by blinding them, blocking them indoors, sabotaging the game every way I can.
You're gonna make Lewis click yes next time.
Now Lewis is in on it.
Ah.
We've been just meeting and sabotaging a little bit.
Ooh,
because they wanted
nice.
to try and both kick me out.
This is gonna make it take an extra turn, but I want to see how many crits I can get. Oh, hey, the last 2 crit at the very least. Oh. Oh. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Why not? You know what? I'm moving this alibi. I have a better spot for this.
So it's
alibi.
not raining yet. You think we're gonna go to locals tonight, Tyler?
You want? Do you even want to go?
I don't know. I want to go tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm probably gonna go, but tonight I'm not sure if I want to.
I don't know. There might be some changes I make before tomorrow, so... Or make tomorrow for Sky Strikers. I'm thinking of taking out the
I'm
ghost
setting
bells
up
for
the best
something.
bait you'll ever see, Lewis.
But I'm not sure what I want to take the ghost bells out for. You're setting up an alibi in a Beagle.
No, I'm setting up 2 and then me.
You're gonna be standing in front of 1 too?
See?
You're just evil.
It's the wall of alibis.
They're gonna shoot one of them. It's probably not the first one though. Alright, let's see. So is everyone gonna save for Qin Shi Huang when he comes out? Cause like this guy's good. I don't really like him though. Who? The newest the ruler from Lost Belt 2, 3, 3, Lost Belt 3. I will read out his skills in a second, since you don't know who that is.
You can't shoot what's already dead.
So he's got 3 skills. Only one of them is like really relevant.
I was gonna sneak up
so the
on
first
him,
skill
and I
is
almost crossed on him first.
that's a very
Look at
interesting
this.
name for a
I
skill.
was sneaking around
All
the corner to go
books
for
must
the
be
melee on him,
burned.
And then he got fucking killed by Frost.
It decreases the all enemies NP gauges by
first.
1
Somehow.
and increases defense by 20%. All scholars must be buried. This is just the skills on this are just weird. It's essentially an attack buff because the stun's like not gonna happen. Eternal Throne EX is the only one that I generally see as really
They got
good.
hard carried.
That's not what I wanted to do. Is as it's a 50% NP gauge and 50% NP gauge buff, and a 300 heal, as well as an NP or a debuff removal. But it's the Noble Phantasm that's the really good one. Domination beginning. Apply invincibility for yourself for 1 turn. Apply target focus status for yourself for 1 turn. Increase critical strength for 3 turns. Increase critical star gather rate by 300, or by 300% for 3 turns. And then on overcharge, increase attack. This is really cool. A lot of people have said he can. A lot of people have said that he can solo most quests. He's sort of like a ruler version of Hercules in that sense.
Sorry, there are no
That he can solo a lot of quests. Just from if an opponent has enough does enough damage to where does enough hits to where he can loop his NP, he essentially can never take damage. And you can get some really high damage numbers off this guy.
We'll do it next round.
Does it matter? Does it matter? Does it matter?
I'm just a nut right now, bro.
Stop saying shit like this out loud, please.
No, it's now not November. It's funny to spout shit about nutting.
You know, I'm just like, okay. You know, whatever. I'm just gonna not.
You don't know how to respond.
No, I don't. I really don't.
You're like, okay then. The doc's upstairs with his P90 suppressed. He's got a suppressed red dot P90, it looked like.
Why a red dot P90? The P90 still has an ACOG.
Nah, red dot's where it's at, bro.
Sure.
Oh, was it not a P90? It looked like a P90.
If it was a P90, he'd be spawn peeking.
He just spawn peeked.
Oh, then it was probably a P90.
But the gun icon didn't look like a P90.
Okay, what did you think it is then?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's right. The next one's coming out. The other caster. It's coming out on the same banner. Why two casters on the same banner, both doing about the same thing that the other one did, of being just like damage casters? I forgot to talk about this one because this one's also going to be on the banner for what? I'm trying to remember the name of the servant. Abigail. Caster of Midrash. Midrat. I don't know how to say that name. I'm not gonna try. Oh, the April Fool's one on this one is so funny. Charisma B. B minus. So instead of getting 18%, we get 17.8%. Spirit's Eye A. Increase on critical damage for 1 turn. Ignore invincibility for 1 turn. A 100%. So this is essentially Billy the Kid's second skill? No. Billy the Kid's first skill. On a caster. Why? Alright then. Wisdom of the Demon Gods. Increase party's Buster performance for 3 turns. Increase party's Arts performance for 3 turns. Gain 10 crit stars. Alright, it is a slightly better version of... the first skill of... first skill, I think, of Parcelis von Hohenheim? I think. Hohenheim's skill might be a little... Yeah, they're about the same skill, except this one also gives Buster performance and crit stars.
Yeah, why is there a funnel cloud outside, bro?
Don't try that fucking shit with me, man.
Like
3 Enigmas. Decrease defense for 3
like,
turns. Decrease attack for 3 turns. Decrease health, HP recovery for 3 turns. 10 to 30, 10 to 30, 30 to 70. That's pretty good. Anastasia Nika. Yeah. It's Anastasia. I will check that one out. Since I don't know what her skills actually do. I know she's good, though.
Yo, you know, we need an open room design.
It's sad that, like, I think right after she comes out, a servant for free does exactly what she's supposed to do. And it's Sieg. Like the mad disrespect on that they gave her job away to a free Sieg. Alright, I am back. I got a phone call.
Look
That-
at how
oops.
terrible that aim was, but one shot
Powered off
hit
my
him in the
headphones.
chest and downed him.
Alright, Ben, so since you said I choose, I'm gonna take out all the meat.
Please don't. Her ascensions, like, don't change much about her.
Dreambow?
Your what's
What?
never gonna work for
On
you?
your... Look down, it says Dreambone.
What?
Your what's never
Where?
gonna work
On
for
your
us?
desk.
Oh, this is Thumper stuff. I fed Thumper a bone.
It's because you died.
Where's Mom at?
She's with Marcus. I don't know where they are, but she's with Marcus.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so... Wait. Let's start. Alright, so first skill. Mystic Eyes of Clairvoyance D. Ignore invincibility for 1 turn. Increase own arts performance for 1 turn. Reduce one enemy's debuff resistance for 1 turn. It is a 50% arts buff. That's pretty decent. And it's 100% debuff resistance. Charisma of Frostbite B.
Hey, what?
Increase party attack for 3 turns to on 20. Reduce all enemies' attack for 3 turns, also 20. Some word in Russian that I can't pronounce. Charge own NP gauge.
Well, it's not
50%
like we
charge.
should do.
Chance to stun enemy for 1 turn. It's a 60% chance. Territory creation EX. Nice.
Wow.
Fairy contract A. Debuff resist up. Debuff chance rate up. V
No,
EX.
But I don't want to hear it.
Essentially her doll, I think, or her shadow or whatever. There's like there's this weird thing around her that I think that's V. And it's not super clear if it's her doll or if it's her doll doing that or what. Galloping Stare of the All-Seeing Ghastly Eyeballs. Okay. It's a multi-target, 4-hit Noble Phantasm that applies Skill Seal. And an overcharge effect of defense decrease. Now the problem with this, like, really good servant, honestly, because she can quite easily do the NP charge looping thing that you do with Ryder Mordred. So like if you've built that, you can use that for Anastasia.
We just pulled that off with no challenge, so that's sad.
The problem is that there's another servant that was released like just a little bit, either just a little bit after her. Yeah, just a little bit after her, I think. And that's Sieg. And Sieg is a free 4-star that does essentially the same thing that she does. His skills are eerily similar to her skills. Artificial Hero Fake B. Increase own NP gauge rate, NP generation rate for 3 turns. Increase own max HP for 3 turns. It's a 30% NP gain rate. And 20%, 2,000 max HP. Magecraft C. It's a 30% art, or 36% arts buff for 1 turn. So it's weaker than, he is noticeably weaker than Anastasia on all his skills. But you'll also find that doesn't really matter because he's free. So you have him at, he's a free servant. So you have him at 5-star. So he's going to hit, usually, unless you have Anastasia at max, he's going to hit just as hard as she does. And Dead Count Shapeshifter EX. Increase own damage against dragons for 1 turn. 100% buff against dragons. There is a... This is okay because there is a race of dragon in-game that is... assassin class.
Absolutely toxic.
Charge own NP, it's 30%. Again, this is just a weaker version of one of Anastasia's skills. Independent, his class skills, his passives, are where he separates himself from her, I guess. He has Independent Action EX. Increase your critical strength by 12%. This is the best independent action in the game, by the way.
You should throw one of your smoke nades in a corner.
Homunculus C+. Increase own arts card effectiveness by 65%. Increase your own debuff resistance by 6.5%.
Oh, never mind. This isn't a good room.
And then his Noble Phantasm is 3 hits, so it's, again, noticeably weaker than Anastasia's. And again, it's also rank EX. Incandescent Dragon's Breath. The only thing that puts him slightly above it when it comes to her Noble Phantasm is his defense debuff activates first rather than after. So it's really weird that they did that to Anastasia, where they made her, gave her a really, really cool and interesting niche. And then immediately afterwards, just made Sieg and gave him the exact same niche. And then made him free. Because it is a really good and useful niche. He's arguably gonna need less setup than, he's arguably gonna need more setup for starting the Noble Phantasm spam than Anastasia's going to. But once he gets going, he does it a little bit better. Because of the first skill of Artificial Hero, Fake. Either or is a really good servant for farming.
Fuck, I got peeked. I didn't think the jackal would be sitting there waiting.
Mmm. Do you think that this game has a high skill ceiling?
What?
Siege? I feel like it does.
Battlefront.
Not as high as Battlefront, but I think it has a high enough skill
The
ceiling.
insane recoil on everything has an insane fucking skill ceiling. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
But yet I could slaughter in that game pretty easily too. I'm average at just about every game I play. You would think I'd be a god at this game if I'm good at the much harder Battlefront, but no. I'm just okay at this and okay at Battlefront.
Well, there's a lot of difference in mechanics for this
Yeah, but,
game,
like,
so...
Yeah. But you would think overall you'd do better at like other easier shooters. But I still am average at everything. Even fucking like I could play the easiest fucking shooter and beat. And that makes that you would think if you're good at like Siege or any other harder shooter you'd be a god at, and I'll still be just pretty good.
You're pretty bad at TF2.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I would like to meme. I like to go with meme weapons.
True, but I've seen a lot of people use... I've used meme weapons before and done better than that.
Yeah. You also actually know the maps in this game. I don't.
Yeah.
I had no clue where you were.
And I'm used to hit scan weapons.
Yeah, I usually play projectile or beam, which beam is tech. Beams do function as hit scan, but they're still different. They've got a much larger hit radius, you know? They're basically hit scan with a huge radius.
Yeah, that's true.
I really oblivious to my threat.
Oh, damn!
Who the fuck that was that just rushed their drone through their gameplay? It was the Capitao.
Rushed their drone through what?
He rushed his drone through the little hole where mine was hidden and they hadn't noticed. And they heard it and saw mine too because of it.
You know what's funny? If I had used the heal defense thing, Lancelot probably would have lived.
Really? The doc is upstairs and just wiped our whole team because nobody thought to shoot at him while I was trying to watch the Mira. The fucking Monty and Cappy both were staring at the stairs and not shooting at the doc. Both of them just watched him as he rushed us and killed all of us. They didn't fire a single bullet and Montag had his shield on his back. Can you say so much skill? Lewis, your thoughts on that? Wait, you left? We had idiotic teammates anyways.
Who else can I talk about from JP that I think is
No
interesting?
joke, Armonti had his shield on his back and him and Cappy were covering the stairs. They didn't fire a single bullet as Doc rushed up, like melee killed them pretty much. Because he ran and shoved his gun in their face to shoot them.
Ooh, Okada Izo's an
Then
interesting
shot
one.
me.
Who's the nearest to coming that I haven't talked about yet?
Get your ass in my squad.
I think Semiramis is like the nearest. I could be wrong. I know Semiramis comes out
Get your ass
in
in my
February. I think it's this It should be this February that Semiramis is coming out. if I'm burning through stuff. So this is another weird instance of... Okay, so Semiramis is a really weird assassin. Remember how in the show that they were essentially saying that she's more of a caster than an assassin? It really shows in her gameplay. She is a buster.
I'm gonna sign out for a little
A buster assassin with the Emiya skill set, or the Emiya card selection of 3 arts, 1 quick, 1 assassin, or 1 buster. I don't think she's bad per se. She's pretty decent. Okay, so skills. Familiar Pigeon D. Charge own NP gauge to 30%. Reduce all enemies debuff resistance for 1 turn. 50% debuff resistance. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, which is really nice. Double Summon B.
I think someone wants the outs.
Increase own NP gauge rate, generation rate for 3 turns. Ignore attack and defense advantages of caster class enemies for 3 turns. So essentially, she will deal neutral damage to riders, and she will take neutral damage from riders for 3 turns.
Yeah, I knew it ran. It ran for a short period and stopped. It's probably gonna rain again.
This is pretty decent, by the way. Rare, but decent. I should have used Nira Bride, not Matahari. Alcohol of the Arrogant King. I think this is a noble phantasm in Apocrypha. Can only be used when there are 8 crit stars or more. Inflict poison to all enemies. Decrease buster resistance for all enemies. Consume 8 crit stars. For a arts and buster focused servant, I imagine it's not going to be super easy to generate 8 crit stars. This is like the whole thing with Moriarty having a thing that costs 10 crit stars to activate. The poison damage isn't super good either, by the way. 4 passives. 4. Presence Concealment C. Territory Creation EX. Item Construction C. And Divinity C. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Deal damage. Increase defense for all allies by 20%. Overcharge effect. Activates first. NP strength for 1 turn. 10 to 50%. She gets an upgrade. What does the upgrade do? Increase buff removal resistance for all allies for 1 turn. We need more servants with increased buff removal resistance, because there's now a servant that removes her own buffs. And it's a little ridiculous. That, I don't know why they did that to that servant. She was... like, she had really good skills, and then they tied it all to an NP that removes her own buffs. And it's like, wow, this servant is dead on arrival. Ooh, okay. Reset. Nope, didn't want to do that. Receive all. We'll do one last run for today. Even though I have more than enough to just keep on going. I've opened up to 4 boxes, so that's good. Alright. that all? Yeah. Let's talk about the servant that they made. They thought it was a brilliant idea to just give her the ability to remove her own buffs. Don't know why they thought it was a good idea, but they did. Yu Mayoi. Mayoi. You know, Yu is the first one, so we'll go with Yu. Okay, so Incarnated Soul A. Okay, the theme with this servant is bunch of fairly decent, if not outright good skills, coupled with probably the worst Noble Phantasm ever that isn't named Smile of the Steno. Incarnated Soul A. Charges own NP gauge every turn for 5 turns. At max, it's 10% every turn, so it's essentially just Merlin's Noble Phantasm for a couple of turns. It's essentially just Merlin's Noble Phantasm without the healing, and they coupled the healing into another skill. Heaven's Feathered Woman A. Recover own HP every turn for 5 turns. Increase own buff removal resistance for 1 turn. This will come in very handy for her Noble Phantasm, but it's on a 5-turn cooldown. The HP regen is with 1,000 a turn, so again, it is just in taking everything into account. They've essentially scaled her down 2 skills as a NP1 Merlin. And then Vampirism C. Vampirism is, again, a good skill. An 80% chance to reduce NP gauge by 1, and a 27% NP charge. Good skill. If only her Noble Phantasm was good. Alright, let's get Nerobrad on the field. Okay, so Eternal Lament C. Removes own debuffs, activates first. Removes own buffs, detriment, activates first. Deals damage to all enemies. Inflicts curse, 2,000 damage per turn for all enemies. This is about the best curse in the game, I think. There isn't really much better of a curse. I don't believe that there's a better curse in the game currently. But again, it's tied to one of, if not the worst, Noble Phantasms to ever be created. And then the great thing, the amazing thing you get for removing your own debuffs, other than the heavy curse damage, is on overcharge, increase your own buster effectiveness for 1 turn, activates first. On a 50 to 100. So it's not a bad buster buff. It's just tied to the removal of all of these different things that you could have, say, buffs. Other attack buffs. Now, Heaven's Feathered Woman does help because it increases your own debuff removal resistance. But it's really hurt by the fact that, you know, you're still removing your own debuffs. Or you're still removing your own buffs. So at max, Heaven's Feathered Woman will prevent 1 debuff removal on a 5-turn cooldown, and in JP there are several there are several servants with either targeted or party-wide debuff removal resistance. It's just a little sad that they tied this skill to a servant that kind of deserved a little bit better of a skill. Having, like, they tied this skill to a servant, or this NP to a servant, that already had really good skills, and they sort of just looked at the servant and said, alright, how can we make this servant terrible? I know, let's make her remove her own skills, or her own NP. I literally don't know what they were thinking on that skill. Or on that Noble Phantasm. Like, they've screwed over servants before by giving them terrible Noble Phantasms, i.e. Steno, or giving them crappy skill lineups, say, Caster, whatchamacallit, I'm trying to remember his name, Gils de Reyes. But they've never given a servant really, really good skills, and then given them the most useless NP possible. The sad thing is, without buffs, her Noble Phantasm, even with its own buff, her Noble Phantasm doesn't really do much. Alright, well, we are almost at the 3-hour mark. And it has been... Wait. It has been very fun. But I think I'm going to call it here for today. I will see about streaming tomorrow. It will have to be after I do some writing. Because I have to write another essay. But it will be after a substantial amount of writing. So probably around the same time that I streamed today. I started streaming today. I will stream some more of this event. We'll be able to do some different quests, because we'll be... I'm sure some new quests will unlock that will allow for much easier farming. So with that being said, I will see you all here tomorrow, hopefully. And I hope you all